Today I'm going to show you how to make epic drones. Not that kind of drones, this kind of drones. Yeah, let's go. Hey guys, Dilby here. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to look at how to make drones and textures for your tracks. This is great stuff for all types of underground house and techno. You can use this in deep house, organic house, Afro House, melodic house and techno, big room techno, whatever you want. It's super applicable and a great way to make unique and interesting sounds for your tracks. And be sure to stick around to the end because I've got a bonus technique you're not going to want to miss. It's super easy and super powerful. As always, you can download the project files for this video from Patreon. Patreon's one of the best ways that you can support the channel. So if you like the content, click the link in the description and go check it out. We also just launched a Discord server for the community, which adds a lot of value for the patrons. So go check that out and we hope to see you over there. Now let's get into Ableton and make some drones. Right, so here we are inside Ableton and I've put together a little beat to demonstrate how we can make some drones. I've got 4 different techniques for making drones, so let's just jump right in. This is a beat that I've put together and it's kind of like a deep progressive-y type thing, but these techniques are totally applicable to Afro House, Melodic Techno, Organic House, Deep House, whatever you want really. Right, so that's what we're working with. These project files are available to download from Patreon. There's a link in the description if you want to go over and grab them. And of course, the files are going to include all the additional stuff that we make in this tutorial. So the beat's sounding pretty cool, but I think it could really do with some depth and some texture that could be added by a drone. So the first technique I'm going to show you is using a synth to make the drone. So I've actually got this instance of Vital here, where I've made one. So without it in context, let me just turn off the ARP so we can hear it a bit better. It's quite loud for demonstration purposes, but we probably want it to be a bit more subtle in the track, but I'm just going to leave it up so we can hear what's going on. Anyway, what we're going to do is recreate this. Make a new MIDI track. And I'll just copy that Vital by holding Control and dragging it. Then let's open it up, initialize the preset. Okay, so I'll drag down this MIDI file, just turn it off, and I'll solo it. Awful. But it's actually the start of where we're trying to get to. So let's open up Vital. We've got the first oscillator here. I'm going to add some unison. We'll turn that up to about 5 voices. Already sounding closer to where we want to go. Bring down the sustain, add a bit of release, add a little bit of attack, because we're trying to make a pad, right? Cool. Now let's add a second oscillator and we'll route this to filter 1 as well. Okay, so we're going to pitch this down by 12 semitones, 1 octave. Let's also give it 5 voices. But I'm going to bring down the level a bit and we'll mix it in. So this is an octave lower. Actually, let's just listen to what it sounds like. So with the track. We'll add some LFO tool just so we can get the vibe. So it actually sounds pretty cool already with the higher oscillator. And of course we want a filter, and let's bring some cutoff in. add a little bit of drive. And we'll turn on this SMP and add some white noise. We're going to send that to filter 1. Oh, filter 1. And bring down the volume. All right, now what we can do, this is probably best demonstrated without the filter. So we can go to the LFO and we will turn it to sync, and let's put it to maybe something like dotted 2/1 and change this to a sine. Doesn't matter, sine is perfectly smooth anyway, so we don't need the smoothing. And then let's drag that to this unison detune. So this is detuned to 20%, and then the LFO is going to be bringing it up. That sounds probably a bit crazy. So we can make that a lot more subtle just by dragging this down. So that's just going to allow us to get a bit of movement in that top layer. Turn the filter back on. And we're going to use LFO 2, also sine, also sync. And let's just change this to triplet and maybe 4/1, 1/1. So we're going to drag that to the filter cutoff. Maybe let's make this a bit longer. Ooh, this way. So you can notice on those LFO like phase indicators that they're starting off at the same point, but then they're going out of time, which is really cool. I might actually change the first one to a little bit faster, so then they're going to go out of time faster, and it's just giving a bit more randomization. Cool. So that's roughly our first drone. Great for this type of progressive house type of thing, also great for melodic techno. You can see how you could use some automation to create some kind of build-ups and stuff in your track. So if we automate this cutoff, we could do something like this. So add a bit of reverb. Pretty cool. So that's our first drone. There's obviously benefits of using a synth. It's got lots of control. You can use different MIDI notes, so we could put it up an octave. We could play like the 7th, the G here. Sorry, I said the 7th, I mean the 5th. So let's move on to a new technique. So I'll make a new MIDI track. We're in C minor, so let's make a MIDI track, MIDI clip, and put a C minor note in here. We'll go to wavetable, and I want to find something synth lead. Let's try that. Anger management. Okay. Pretty loud. Let's turn it down. Cool. Now I'm going to throw on a reverb and turn this all the way up. Add some decay. So there's like 12 seconds. I'll just turn down the pre-delay, take off that filter. And what we're going to do is freeze this reverb. So if we turn this back on, and we've got this freeze button here. So I'll play this, and then we'll listen and hear a point. I'll press the freeze. Okay, so that's going to go on forever. What we'll do is we will set this to in from track 38, anger management, record arm. Then I'm going to hit record. We'll freeze the track and it'll record the audio down here. Okay, so I'll hit record on the push Cool. So now what I would do with that is make a new MIDI track, get this simpler, throw this in, hit loop here, boom, boom, fade, bring in the start, and probably do it a bit longer like that. Now we can play this on the keyboard. So I can take this C note here, bring it down. Add a bit of filter. Very nice. Obviously, when you use a different preset, you're going to get a different sound. Let's just try a different preset. Boom. Actually, let's try something a bit weirder. Cool. That's a bit weirder. Okay, so the automation's already there from last time. I recorded it, so I can just hit record and it's going to automatically freeze the reverb. Cool stuff. All right, so now we can try it with this one. Obviously, you can see that these are different volumes, so you just want to adjust for that. Now we can also do some cool stuff with the pitch of these. So if I bring that down an octave, or up an octave, so the benefit of this is also then you can add like more effects. So a bit of reverb, we can add a bit of chorus, spread it out. And then you've basically got a playable drone pad sound. Cool. So I'll just move these over here. And what I'm going to do is create a new audio track because we're going to move on to our third one, which is with a vocal. So I've made a search here in LoopCloud for vocals with the filters C, house, and female. So let's have a listen to some sounds. And don't you think? Okay, let's try that one. That could be cool. So grab that one and let's look for one more that's a bit more diva-ish. Don't talk, maybe you let's try that one. I'll just throw that there. And why don't I hit one shot? See what we come up with. Get out. I think that one's going to be cool. You never know. So we've got our 3 different vocal sounds and we're going to try them out. What I'll do is just duplicate this reverb down to here, change the input from 38 to 39. I'll just bring down the volume of these. Whoop. Let's select these and bring down the volume. Now, where do we want to hit this? Okay, I'll hit the padlock here to keep the reverb automation locked. And let's just try moving this to different places until we get something that works. So maybe one more bit like this. Okay, so we're going to try and use that bit. So let's hit record. Look. Cool, move that one over here, and let's try this vocal. With these vocals, I'm just turning the warp off so they play at their full speed. All right, turn the reverb on. Cool, and okay, turn the reverb on, hit record. Cool. So now we've got our vocal textures. They're all in C, so we can just drop them into here and see how they sound. So the first one, just turn this chorus off. Nice. Let's try this one. And remember, we're just bringing in these loop points so that it's looping around part of the held reverb. Okay, let's give this a listen. That one sounds really nice, really kind of dissonant and eerie. Let's try the transpose. Very cool. Now let's try this more kind of diva-ish one. That would be awesome for a build-up, like a different texture to a pad or a held string or something like that. Really good stuff. So let me move these over here. So obviously varying the sound source is going to give you different sounds and textures. What I've done here is prepared a few Foley sounds or field recordings. Okay, so let's take this one with birds, and just see how they sound. Bring them over, drop them in, record arm. So let's just go for the first one. We'll solo that. Let me just hit warp on here. So let's just turn our reverb on. Cool. So we'll just try once more and see if we can get a bit of that bird sound at the start. Cool. Now let's try with this train station one. So that is awesome. Now I don't know what the key of these are. And really they didn't have a key, but now that they're a sustained sound, they may well have a key. So what I'm going to do is drop this one in, bring in those loop points. Let's just check. So we could just kind of nudge that into C. So let's take a listen. Really cool. Now let's give these others a try. This is the birdsong one. So it looks like that's got a fundamental around D or something. So let's just try bringing it down by a couple of semitones. Very cool. For our last technique, what we can do is take this and expand on it. It's not super musical. Let's try this one. See what we got. Okay, perfect. That's got no tone really. So So what we're going to do is add a plugin from Ableton called Resonators. Let's drop that on. So what we can do with this is create harmonics. Let's see how it sounds like this. So we've got it set to C. We'll turn this up to 100% wet, and then let's add 3 and 7. Now you can hear that we're getting a chord, right? And let's bring this back down. So we've taken it from this kind of atonal sound to now have the characteristics of that atonal sound, that Foley sound, but also with some harmonic content. We had a bit more reverb, some delay. Try this chorus. And this is what we've got. And of course you could resample that and on and on and on. So one last thing that's really cool, this is a bit of a bonus I guess. We're going to take one of these vocal sounds that we grabbed. Drop this back in. Now we've got warp on. I'm going to put a warp marker here. Delete that warp marker. We're going to change this mode to texture, change the length to 8. And I'm going to grab a warp marker randomly here. Oh, let's just loop that there. So we've got texture. So by dragging that out, we've changed the BPM to 999. We're going to play with the grain size and the flux to get some really cool effects. We can add a reverb on top of that. And some LFO tool. And then let's play with the grain size and stuff again. Okay, so let's listen to that in context with our track. Then we can try different parts of the loop, and obviously we're going to get different effects. So again, you can resample that, keep going, keep going. It's a fantastic way to get like really unique, interesting sounds for your tracks. A super easy way to get the audio from that is just to hit freeze. Then we can just take this, drag it, drop it, and then we've got the audio. Unfreeze, and we can move the loop point and go again. All right, so a lot of different options there. As always, you can download this project from Patreon. There's a link in the description. Jump over, take a look. There's so many project files on there. It's pretty crazy. We've also just launched the Discord server, so it's a great way to get in there, connect with people, get feedback on your tracks, make contact, all that good stuff. I hope to see you there. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Really fun and easy techniques and pretty much endless possibilities. If you enjoy this type of content and you're looking for something else to watch, then check out this video. You're going to like it. Well, that's it from me today. Catch you next time. Peace.